Okay, and in some big breaking news coming in, India and Chinese border troops at Chushul has ended. We hear that both sides reiterated that the other intruded into the territory, both sides agreeing to, just calm things down and just ensure that the situation does not further escalate. Both sides committing to not repeating the scuffle or the stone-throwing incident that was reported yesterday. We are hearing that both sides have also agreed that the tension should now not spill over to other places as well. Executive Editor Gaurav Sawant joins us for more on this. Gaurav, this is an interesting bit of news. After the provocation, it seems both sides have agreed, at least for now, to ensure that the things do not escalate further.
Sources telling India today that both India and China are trying to diffuse tension at the line of actual control. So there was a scuffle yesterday. There was minor stone pelting is how sources in the army are describing it between our security forces and the Chinese border guards at 2 points along the LAC in Ladakh. But subsequently, when there was a meeting this morning at Chushul of the two sides, an effort is being made to diffuse tension, one, not escalate it, and two, ensure that it doesn't spread to other areas. So there is a very robust border defense mechanism agreement in place between the two armies, between the two security forces, and now the effort is to ensure this does not escalate. That's point one. Point two, sources also telling India today that sweets have been exchanged between India and China on the occasion of India's Independence Day. Again, an effort to sweeten a very sour environment at this point of time.
Absolutely. Editor India Today, Sudhi Ranjan Sen, also is with us. And Sudhi, this is unprecedented. One hasn't really heard of this kind of tension in that particular area. But good to hear that at least for now, both parties have agreed to, kind of just tone down the tension and ensure that it doesn't spread.
Well, I mean, of the information that we are getting from the border personal meeting, the most important thing I would say is that both sides agreeing that, tension in one part of the border should not be escalated to the other. That shows a lot of maturity between the two sides, and also an effort not to let the Doklam incident spill over and affect other areas. Because that clearly shows that India and China both, while they are the troops are, engaging one another. There is a standoff going on. There is a maturity of, which saying that let the Doklam incident be a standalone incident. Let us try to sort it out and let this not affect us in other areas. Let us not get carried away by, one incident and spoil the entire, the entire relationship that is there. The relationship has been frosty, yes, but it is not to the point of a breakdown. So that is what is reflected, and the most, I mean, again, I will reiterate, the troops, the both sides agreeing that let us not allow one incident to affect the other sections of the border is perhaps the most important takeaway. Although it is a tactical level meeting, it just shows how the two countries are thinking.
Absolutely. Gaurav, for now at least, there perhaps, is an agreement to ensure that the tension doesn't further escalate, but the tension prevails. And understandably so, the Indian forces there would also not want to let their guard down, at least, in the given scenario with the kind of military standoff that still continues at Doklam.
The sweet news that's coming in, Avantika, at this point of time is that even at Doklam Plateau, where there was a tense standoff for, it's now 2 months, at that point, India and China exchanged sweets on the occasion of India's Independence Day. So this shows that perhaps while the standoff remains in place between the two, at least the normal courtesies are being followed. That's point one. Point two, this also took place at other border meeting points is what sources in Army headquarters are telling India today. So if the news, as Shruti was rightly pointing out, is that tension in one border should not now escalate to another border, that's very heartening to hear. But again, India will not let its guard down for the simple reason that the past has shown the more prepared you are, the more vigilant you are, the better are the chances that you would be in for an unpleasant surprise. So, it's that trust but verify concept is being put into practice at this point of time.
Absolutely. Gaurav Sawant and Sudhi, thanks so much for joining us. We'll continue to remain on the story and get more updates.